Sky Stadium, Sunday afternoon, 3:35. Bit of afternoon footy in the Cape Tin. Both teams obviously will be rearing to get back out on the park and make amends for what happened last week. Who do you reckon's better placed to get back to winning ways here, Jimmy?
I'm pretty biased when it comes to the Hurricanes, but I think both teams. I think this game's going to be a really even one. I was surprised to see the odds so short with the Chiefs. They've been playing really well, but I feel like a lot of these New Zealand teams are just so close that small margins win these games. Couple of referee decisions, couple of missed opportunities. Pretty much win or lose you these games. So as long as both teams turn up, I think either one of them could win. And like I said before, with the Hurricanes bringing back the big guns for this one, I think they'll be pretty angry after that last game. So, yeah, I'll be tipping the Canes.
Do you think with, obviously, TJ, that was his first game back in a Canes jersey for a long time, obviously get a bit of natural improvement there, just with him being a bit more familiar with the guys around me and played a lot of footy with Aidan Morgan and Ruben Love and those guys? Should we see them sort of just naturally take a step forward with communication and everything?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue, any nine who will tell you that if your team's not winning the breakdown and getting slow ball, man, your game's, it's so hard to get your game going. And I think that's what we saw. The boys just got beaten up and the ball was really slow. The ruck ball was messy and made it a real tough night for TJ. So felt sorry for him a little bit, but hopefully the boys will sort that out this weekend and we can see him at his best.
So the back's blaming it on the forwards there, I see.
Oh, but it's backs as well, to be fair. The backs have to be able to get in there and clean and win that race. But, yeah, it's a full team thing. I just felt like, I don't know if it was a mental thing or whether it was just a physical thing, but they were definitely beaten up and really struggled to get their game going.
Yeah, no. If the Hurricanes are struggling with the physicality of Moana Pacifica, how do you reckon they'll go against this Chiefs pack, which even without Brody is still one of the more fearsome units in the comp?
Yeah, like Jimmy said, it's going to be a very tight game. Either way, both teams can definitely win this. I personally think the Chiefs have got the edge in this one, and they'll be hurting just as much, if not a little bit more. They were up for that game last week, and the way it ended, I think they'll be very dirty on themselves. Yeah. But they too welcome back the big guns this week. Plenty of All Black talent back into the Chiefs mix as well. So,
and Clayton McMillan should be back in the coach's box as well. But I did enjoy the pop-up of him jumping around the stadium differently. I thought the Chiefs should have moved it down, have it behind the post at one stage, have it all over the place. But
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this game. It'll be good.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy that. The Sunday Arvo game against the Crusaders that Cape Town last year was a great clash. So hopefully we see something similar with a slightly different ending.
Funny story. I took my daughter she was 4 at the time. First rugby game, took her to that game with another mate and his son, also 4. And we got there and the kids were loving the atmosphere, having a lot of fun. And then about 10 minutes in, my mate's son goes, "Dad, I want to go home. This is boring." So he started kicking off, and I think they left at half time. I said to my daughter, I was like, "Do you want to go? Are you happy to stay?" She's like, "No, this is fun. I want to stay." It was awesome.
Lifelong Canes fan, I hope.
Wow.
Who have you got your eye on here as maybe some potential game breakers for the Hurricanes or the Chiefs? I think, both teams probably need their big guns to step up if they want to win this one, given we see it as being a pretty close one. Who can you see sort of grabbing game by the scruff of the neck, James?
There's no bigger gun at the moment than Geordie Barrett. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that he might be making a move into midfield this week. I just feel like the extra physicality, they want to get him involved a little bit more. And I loved what Ruben Love did in the weekend when he came off the bench, back at fullback. I'm thinking they were going to try and get him involved a little bit more and maybe make this move to 12 that he's been hinting about for a very long time.
Sneaky suspicion, or is that a TAB exclusive?
It's still a sneaky suspicion.
Don't worry, we'd never take anything out of context off the podcast and pass through a lot of social media. So.
Especially about Geordie.
Yeah. Midfield for the Warriors this week, is that?
Yeah, in the halves, I think, with SJ. I think they're both there.
Oh, that would be a sight. Yeah, I think got to think Artie versus Sam Cane is going to be another very exciting battle to watch, presuming we both see them on the park list. Tom Christie's been sort of tearing up trees all over the South Island for the Crusaders the last few weeks. So I'm sure we'll start to get some All Black buzz from him and the Christchurch Press and other Crusaders affiliated media outlets. Who do you sort of see coming out on top of that battle?
I feel like you've probably got more insight to this than us, Jimmy, but I feel like Artie's one of those guys that really feeds off the crowd and the energy at the stadium in particular. He always seems to sort of get up, and he's a freak. I love watching Artie, and it'd be good to see him back.
I don't think he needs much to feed off, right? He just he could be playing just down at the polo grounds for Auries in front of 20 people, and he'd still be carrying teams on his back. That sort of guy.
He's just so consistent, eh? He's so consistently good. He turns up every week with that same mentality, and I love watching him play. I love playing with him. He's just a little bit different to everyone else. But on Sam Cane, I feel like he's been super impressive as well this year. The way he hits the rucks and hits people with his shoulder, he's so physical, and I feel like he gets a hard time unnecessarily because, man, he's a good player, and I'm hoping to see him back in that black jersey as well.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely no knock from Sam Cane here. I still think if you just watch him during a game, don't watch where the ball is and the work rate of the guy. You get tired just watching it. He's never off his feet. It's just those things.
Just on Artie, I don't know if it was on your podcast, James, but I love the story of him being told, I think by Steve Hansen, to sort of, whenever the camera's on you, sort of don't look like you're so gassed all the time. You make us look bad. He just gives it his all every time, and he just looks like he's got no energy. And then out of nowhere, he gets the ball and he's busting tackles. And
even when the sort of transformation, he was playing that game on the busted MCL, and he was like literally down on the ground grabbing his knee, and then the next second he pops up and he's winning a breakdown turnover and going 60 meters the other way. So we got to bottle that somehow. The guy's superhuman.
Sorry, I just think another player to watch out for. I think Josh Ioane, he's been named at 10. Probably hasn't had the season we thought he might. I mean, in and out of the side, and he's got a good chance here to sort of make a mark on that 10 jersey and keep it for the rest of the season, I think. It'll be a good test for him going up against the Canes.
Yeah, and good to see Peter Gus-Cooler back in the 8 jersey as well. Thank you for alerting me to the fact the Chiefs are in their team. So I can just go and have a quick look there. But
very good team.
It is, very, very impressive. Kapire and Leonard Brown back in the midfield. Nankivell on the wing. Obviously, you've had to do with Alex Nankivell. He was a standout for the Chiefs last week.
He's huge.
You reckon he'll go well on the wing there outside the two All Blacks in the midfield?
Yeah, I was wondering what they're going to do there with Anton Leonard Brown back. Whether I felt like Nankivell played way too well last week to drop him, so I was wondering how they're going to try and work that. But chucking him to the wing, he played a little bit there against the Crusaders the other week, and when Nanai Satoru was out late last minute, so I thought he played really well there. So I think it's a good option. He's a dangerous player, and he's smart on D, so I think he'll fit in really well.
Yeah, no, that's right. And gives you that other defensive option. You can get pretty creative, I presume, with sort of the Hurricanes are going to have a lot of Geordie and the way they play with their hookers and Artie out on the edges. It's never going to hurt to have bigger bodies to defend those sort of blokes.